Yes, welcome to another video. I'm Lewis, above me is Jordan, and today's video is 5 reasons why Man City should sign Dusan Vlahovic. So, sick player, and we're going to go through them 5 reasons. Now, before we do, guys, I want to say a massive shout out to the guys at OneFootball. They've got an app that you can download completely for free. Basically, you put in your favourite team, you get all your team news. So I'm talking stuff like team lineups, match reports, match news, in-game stats, in-game match event news and stuff like that. It's actually sick. Mega app, completely for free. If you want to download it, you help support the channel. The link's in the description and the pinned comment as well. So go download that, support the channel, and yeah, get yourself a sick app. Right, okay, so first of all, I think obviously we all know the sort of candidates, and I'm sure that as we're leading up to signing a striker, we'll go through each of the possible candidates. But the reason that I want to talk about Dusan and Vlahovic right now is because, first of all, reason number 1 is the guy's price. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, does price really matter given the fact that, you know, we're rich? And some of you might have seen that City's accounts came out, and you know what I mean, they're looking pretty healthy, bro.
Yeah, looking very good.
But the price looks very, very good. You can pick him up for, I think, around 55, 60 million pound, bro. Now, compared to what you're going to end up paying for Kane, 100 million, and Haaland 75, plus probably 25 in add-ons and stuff to his to Raiola, the price looks very attractive for Dusan Vlahovic.
Yeah, if you're speaking just for price terms, it's a no-brainer really when you look at the fact that is the price that he is for the kind of player that he is and the way that his form is right now is actually incredible. Like it's madness. But obviously he doesn't want to stay there. He wants out, and it's just about him wanting to pick the club. Now Arsenal are the kind of team that are like kind of favoured for him. That's why it was like, yeah, we should probably do this video now, speak about him now, because in a week's time he might be an Arsenal player. Because they're looking at that price and they're going, that's a good price. That I should probably get on that. And it's a weird one because if City do go for this, then it's kind of like, yeah, obviously you're writing off all the other transfer targets, but we need to really decide what we're doing rapid because of the way that Arsenal are moving. Because obviously that with that price being so low, it's not going to be something that's going to wait until summer. Yeah.
So it could, well, yeah, you're absolutely right. It could get snapped up this January. If he goes, that's obviously going to put more pressure on getting one of the other 2 targets. So look, the fact is, this is a very, very good price for this player, and City, you know, that's one of the reasons why some people might, you know, consider signing him, because, you know, if we're maybe in the market for a fullback, or maybe in the market for a centre mid, which I'm sure we probably will be, you know, is that money available to get all them 3 players? Look, we don't know, obviously, but this price for this player, in my opinion, is a very, very good deal. So that's reason number 1. Now, reason number 2, it's because he's very young, guys. He's very, very young. I think he's 21 years old. You know, he's absolutely slamming. And the fact is, whilst obviously Haaland's still young, if you're going to get Kane, Kane's probably got, what, 3-4 years left at an absolute push. And obviously he's got his injuries as well that concerns. You could get this guy in, Vlahovic, and you could have him for like literally 12, 13 years, man. Like, you know what I mean? That is a very, very, very good sort of deal. Now, you combine that with point number 1, the price. It starts to look like a very, very attractive deal, this, bro. You know what I mean? And you can see why people are wanting this guy at our football club. Yeah,
and as well, I think with the age, I think the fact that you look at Erling Haaland, yes, he is young and that, but then people are going, oh, we'll have Erling Haaland for 10 years. But even if he comes to us, we still know he does have that desire to go to Spain at some point in his career and play for the Barças or the Real Madrid, depending on where they're at.
And with his agent, bro, as well.
With Raiola's
probably going to be pushing.
It all adds up to like
he's getting cash.
Yeah, he gets his one deal at City, stays for 4 or 5 years or whatever, and then gets off somewhere else. Whereas Vlahovic doesn't seem to have that kind of same toxicity kind of surrounding it. It's very much with Vlahovic, I can imagine signing him and being at the club for 10 years and not moving on and stuff like that. And he just slams for City, stays, becomes a City legend and that. Not that I'm saying, you know what I mean, he could not do that as well, but the fact that his age is there and the price, like when you combine them 2 things and the fact that he could be loyal to City and stay for a very long time, you know what I mean, then you talk about price per season, how much you're paying across the years that he's at City, it's going to be basically nothing.
Yeah, no, it's another good point, you know what I mean, and that sort of brings us on to our next point. Obviously, given his age, you'd expect him maybe to having a bit of a rocky period, or maybe not slamming. This guy is slamming right now. Look at his record, guys. Go on to transfer market and have a look at his goals this season. This guy is slamming. He's performing now. You know what I mean? He's not one of these strikers who's up and coming and who's kind of, hitting it a little bit and then not doing so good. He's scoring the goals and performing right now. And I'm telling you as well, guys, look at the goals that he scores. He scores all types of different goals. He's not scoring the same goal every single game, not scoring tap-ins or bullet headers, you know what I mean? He's scoring different type of goals, you know what I mean? So this guy right now is slamming and he's delivering. He won't come in and we'll be like, oh, he might take a few... I mean, he might come in and take a few years to get going or whatever, but what I'm saying is he's not coming in and already we're thinking to ourselves, oh, he's not done it at his previous club, so why is he going to do it at City? He's performing for Fiorentina right now, and if you put him in City's team with the chances that we create, I don't see why he wouldn't slam right now as well.
I think the fact that he's in the form of his life. We spoke about Vlahovic. We spoke about him last season, and we said it's too early to call this because of, you know what I mean, his form. And that was like, yeah, it could be a one-season wonder. Let's give him another year and see what he does. Now it's been another 6 months or whatever it is, and he's like I say, he's slamming. He's smashing it, and he's breaking records over there in Serie A. He's honestly in the form of his life, and he's only young. So, like you say, the chances that we create, he'd come in and I think he's slotting. And you can see, you know what I mean, that's the way that City are going for someone who is a proper goal scorer, and he is a proper goal scorer, and he's showing that so young. And the fact of that potential with that, do you know what I mean, how good is the age, the fact that he's slamming, the fact that the price, as we go through these points, each one combines with the next one, and it just looks an even better deal.
I know. It does. Brings on to our fourth point, guys, and this guy is physical. He suits the Premier League. Look at the guy; he's a tank. You know what I mean? Like I think this guy could come in, and I think he wouldn't struggle at all. For me, if we signed him, I'd be saying to him, "I want you to get stuck in there right away because you have the power. You are strong. You know what I mean? You can bully defenders, get involved. You know what I mean? And basically own the matches. You know what I'm saying? This guy can come in." And like this is the thing, you get someone like Lautaro Martinez, yeah, he could come in and I know he's small, but he's quite stocky, but he might struggle at first, you know what I mean? You know, with the big defenders and that, he might struggle and stuff with the pace of the game. Whereas with Vlahovic, I just don't see that happening. He's strong, he's quick. I think he's gonna slam, guys. Honestly, I think this guy is like up there. I think he's going to be a top star, and I think his physicality would suit the Premier League absolutely perfectly, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's obviously you can see the type of player that City are going for. We are going for someone in the mould of a Harry Kane kind of guy. That's why we're going for players like Harry Kane, Erling Haaland, Dusan Vlahovic.
Vlahovic fits that bill.
I mean? And he just slots straight into that formula kind of thing. He does fit that. You talk about his physicality, but it's not even just that. He is very good. Obviously, that's a massive help in that when he's scoring his goals. Like you said, when we say talking about him slamming that, he scores all types of goals. He's actually very technically gifted on the ball as well, which is wild to see from someone that big. Do you know what I mean? Like usually you kind of associate like these big players have a big donkey touch kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? But he's actually very good on the ball and stuff. Quite skillful in that. Likes to beat him, man. He's really good. So I think as well, if you didn't have the physicality side of things, I think it'd be a bit of a turn off with someone like that because you're like, I don't know if he'd be able to do it in the Prem. But the fact that he is so big and strong, like if he comes into the Prem, I don't think he'd have any problem.
And he's not slow either.
Defenders. Yeah, he's not slow. He's not like a slow.
He ain't no Theo Walcott. What I'm telling you, he's not slow, guys. And combine that with his strength, and I think you've got a serious player on your hands. And again, like you just said, bro, you combine that with the previous point of he's already delivering the goods right now. Combine that with the previous point of he's only early 20s. And combine that with the previous point of you can get him for £60 million. It's starting to look like a perfect bargain buy.
It's a no-brainer, isn't it? It's just like, yeah, go get him right now.
and the final point that we're going to talk about this guy, and some people might not like this point, to be fair, and that's fair enough, but you could get him right now. You know what I mean? This guy's running down his contract. I think if you offered Fiorentina a little bit more money, I think you'd be able to get him in the January transfer window. I think, obviously, as we said earlier on, Arsenal's sniffing around there, and I think that you might end up, if you do want Vlahovic, you might have to go now, because if Arsenal offer him a deal and he decides he wants to go to Arsenal, he might not want to wait until the summer. You might have to step in now. Now, some of you might be happy with that. Some of you might want a striker now to sort of kick charge the rest of our season for the cups and the Premier League. Some of you might think that that's actually a negative, that sort of bringing in a player mid-season, not letting them have that pre-season under Pep Guardiola might be actually a negative, which is a fair comment. Yeah. But we're throwing it in there because it's an option. It's a reason why you want to maybe get him, because you're not going to get Haaland now and you're not going to get Kane now. Whereas if you do want a striker, one of the reasons why you might want to get Vlahovic is because you can get him right now. So, look, some people might think that's actually negative. Some of you might think that's a positive. We thought we'd throw it in there because, you know, for you that think it is a positive, it is an option.
The thing is, as well with that is, it's like, as much as we're throwing it in there, like, do you know what I mean? Because we can get him now, and so people will see it as a positive. It might be a thing of, we have to get him now if we want him at all. Like, basically, you get him now or you don't get him at all, because he could, like I say, he could go to Arsenal, he could get off and go somewhere else before City can get a look in with the whole thing. Like I say, obviously, it's a big gamble from City, because if we leave it and go, right, we're gonna wait till summer regardless. No matter what, we'll wait till summer, then we'll sort things out. Vlahovic might be, do you know what I mean? That he might be ticked off a list then, and then suddenly you're down to two in it. You're down to Kane and Erling Haaland, and then, you know what I mean? You know how the battle for Erling Haaland is going to be wild. Kane, we know how difficult Levy is. It's funny because you talk about them two and how hard them two transfer is kind of another reason why you should just go get this guy, because it's so easy.
Not only that, bro, if you do get him now, then in the summer, it's a lot easier than just to focus on your other targets. You want a centre mid, no problem, where you're not having to sort of, you know, do multiple deals at once, you know what I mean? Because one of them's already done. So, look, that one's probably a little bit more subjective. Some of you might not like that, some of you might, so it's up to you. But basically, they are the 5 reasons. So, you know, you got the price. Very cheap in this day and age, I think. He's young. You could have him for a long time. Now, obviously, that's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed with Haaland either that you'll have him for a long time. You know, he could only stay for 3 or 4 years and then get off. But I think with Vlahovic, he doesn't really mention about wanting to play in certain leagues. He just seems to just want to play his football. So I think you got a better chance of having Vlahovic for a long time over Haaland, which I think is a fair comment to make. He's slamming right now. He's delivering the goods. You know, and there's no prospect. You know what I mean? There's no prospect. He's delivering in one of the best leagues in the world right now. You know what I mean? He's physical. He suits the Premier League, and you could, if you wanted to, get him right now. So they're the 5 reasons why. Let us know your thoughts on Dusan Vlahovic. Where do you think he ranks with sort of Haaland and Kane? What are your sort of, you know, if your list here, I think most people will probably have Haaland at the top, but maybe some people might not want that, with Raiola being his agent and that. Let us know your top 3, and in specifically, give us your thoughts on Dusan Vlahovic, guys. So hopefully you have enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Go check out OneFootball. They sponsored today's video, and you really do help support the channel if you download the app. Completely free, guys. So we really do appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one. See you in a bit.